Introduce yourself and tell me what you do.
Where should I be looking, by the way?
Right here, right here.
Right to you? Okay, so I'm Stephanie Elson, and I'm from Red Wing, and I do web marketing for a software company here in Red Wing. And yeah, that's all about
How'd you
that.
hear about Ignite? Where'd you first hear about it?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay. What sort of programs have you been involved with Ignite?
I have been involved with the Red Wing Ignite program for almost 2 years, and I've been to 2 of the Hack Fests. And I also had a project that I worked on that they helped me develop and continue to help me develop. And they've been a great resource for helping move things forward and helping get the product moving ahead. And some of the Hack Fests have been a great place to meet others who are doing similar things that I'm doing. And so I've met a lot of people that way and been able to learn more about, what I'm doing from what they're doing.
Let's back up 2 feet, that way.
Okay.
Should be what brought you to Red Wing Unite? Like, what was the first thing?
Okay.
How did you hear about us first?
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, you had to have a moment where
Yep.
you said, what are those guys? How'd you hear about that?
What brought me to Red Wing Ignite was a project that I was working on. It was a website, a community website for Red Wing. And I heard through a friend actually that Neela and Red Wing Ignite could help me develop the product, or potentially help me develop the product, and that's how I came to know about Red Wing Ignite.
Okay. What do you say to potential new businesses, the resources that Ignite can offer?
Yeah, I would absolutely say that a new business could benefit from the help that Red Wing Ignite is able to offer, because they can, has something to gain by coming here, because they offer help, and you can get help on technology issues, basically. You can get help on things that you may not have realized they help out with. They'll help out with, I don't even know how to phrase it. Let's just see here. I would say anyone should come here, and at least for the help is one thing, but also to network with others who are doing similar things is a huge value too.
What is the value to the community like Red Wing for Ignite? What sort of does it bring to the community?
I think Red Wing Ignite has brought technology to the community, which we did not have before. Red Wing is kind of known as a slow community. And I love the fact that Red Wing Ignite brings the technology angle to our community. It's one thing that Red Wing needs, and they're bringing it.
More technically challenged, what sort of skills can this bring that I don't even know where to start?
Yeah, they've held classes here at Red Wing Ignite that can help people learn those types of things. And actually they can put you in touch with somebody who can help you develop the technology that you need. So if you need, they can put you in touch with anybody. They have a lot of connections here at Red Wing Ignite. And so if you have a special need, just ask them and they can put you in touch with them. But for regular businesses, I don't know, I can't say specifically.
Introduce yourself and your title.
All right. Should I be staying off there? Or? Right there, okay. My name is John. I'm one of the program coordinators here at Red Wing Ignite.
How did you hear about Ignite?
I honestly just found them online. I'm from Red Wing, and I checked out their website, and I noticed that we were starting a business accelerator. And with my background in entrepreneurship, I was really excited to hear that Red Wing was doing something. And so I just came down and met Neela and wanted to help out.
How unique is this program for a community this size?
Extremely unique for a community this size. I haven't heard of it anywhere else. What we're trying to do is help out kids that are looking to get into entrepreneurship, and make sure that they don't hit all the landmines that are waiting for them out there.
You're just looking for kids?
Not kids necessarily, but from my perspective.
Do you have a particular program you'd like to mention?
No.
It's Ignite in general.
Yeah, we're a resource for entrepreneurs so that they can start their business, meet people, build out their networks.
What unique things can Ignite offer a guy coming in cold?
Coming in cold, well, it's really important to build up your network. The successful entrepreneurs that make it through have a very strong network of mentors and investors. And I think one of the biggest things that we can do is connect you to those investors, whether they're in the cities or they're out in California.
does this technology hub offer Red Wing? How does it help Red Wing grow as a community?
So innovation is what's going to help us grow as an economy, and having it in Red Wing will help us become a center of innovation, which is kind of what we're going for. If we don't do something now, then 10, 20 years down the line, we're not going to be prepared, and we're going to be back to where we started. And so one of the biggest things that we can do is to help these founders succeed and grow their companies, maybe grow them here, maybe grow them, wherever they want to. But the point is that we need progress and we need innovation.
So, don't be afraid to repeat, but why as a guy thinking of starting a business, why do I go to Ignite? What's it going to offer?
We're going to help you with building out your network. We're going to help you get conviction about your idea. And when it comes time to raising money or getting the next customer, we're going to be able to help you do that as well. There's a lot of companies that are getting traction as far as getting users or maybe making some sales. But if you want to excel, then you have to go to an accelerator. So like, don't you, if you want to Facebook, there's an API which is
I've been studying primary databases at this association. It's difficult to analyze it.
You know what I'm gonna do? This is absolutely freaking stupid. Okay, so I need to do transitions. We'll just leave this on. Okay, done.
All right. Is everyone using this computer? Can I just do this?
Do whatever you want.
This is the next, so it's mine too. So I'll just plug that in right in there and you're ready to go.
How long do you want us to go?
10 minutes
For the presentation or total?
for presentation and 10.
No problem.
And we will have Shannon is here, you kind of, so she'll probably give you like a 5-minute plan.
Elevate the money next to the slide.
Yeah, hey, how's it going? Hey, welcome. How you doing? Good. Welcome. So yeah, I'm just trying to get this ready. But feel free to grab a glass of wine or some food, whatever you gotta do. I'll introduce you to you guys in a little bit.
Sounds good.
Okay. Thanks for coming down.
to show it right here, so I'll have one over there. So I'm going to show it.
and improve our quality of life by fueling innovation and entrepreneurism. And how we do this is maybe three basic ways. One is a business accelerator, where we help launch early stage businesses. We host events like tonight, and we also have this space, this venue. So it's welcome to all of you for any business meetings, private offices, shared space. All of our efforts that we do really are trying to lead to creating this innovative ecosystem for our region. And it's difficult work, and you cannot do it alone. It takes many hands. And so that's why I'm thrilled to be here tonight co-hosting with the Mayo Clinic Business Accelerator and Xavier. And we also thank all of you for attending, because all of you are key components of this ecosystem. The startup businesses, the investors, the businesses, and the interested individuals. So thank you for giving up your evening to do this.
Thanks. So my name is Xavier. I run the Mayo Clinic Business Accelerator in Rochester. We have a similar mission than Red Wing Ignite. We have a business incubator ready. It has a $5 million economic development fund that we use to invest in companies that can show significant growth and job creation in Rochester. And we also organize events, and we thought that the two of us could do things better than each of these institutions individually. We hope to have a series of events that should be the first one. Hopefully the next one's going to be in Rochester in the next 3 to 6 months. So you're all welcome to that one. And again, I echo what you said. Thank you for coming. And hopefully we can have a very good evening.
Great. The first company, we're going to have 5 presenters tonight. A 10-minute demo and a little intro about their business, followed by Q&A. There is a sheet on your tables, an interest feedback form. That information is really valuable to the entrepreneurs in the room. So any feedback on their presentations, on their business, please leave that at the table. Give it to Shannon there, or myself, or Xavier at the end of the night, and we'll collect that for them. So the first company presenting is Perk Health. This is Zach McGill. Red Wing has had the pleasure of working with Zach, helping him with some of the market and customer validation pieces of Perk Health, and so looking forward to sharing what he does with all of you.
So I want to kick off this evening with a question. Why do people climb mountains? It's a fairly simple question, right? But it sort of flies in the face of everything we think about people. People are inherently lazy, right? We get home from work and we watch 5 hours of television, and it's not necessarily our fault. We've evolved to conserve metabolic resources. But so then why do people climb mountains? Why do they run marathons or do other difficult things, things that we all sort of add into our lives voluntarily? I spent a lot of time sort of thinking about this question, and I think I came to the answer, and it's actually fairly simple. It's because they want to. Because at the end of the day, it gives them the feeling of joy and accomplishment. But I'm not here to talk about climbing mountains. I'm actually here to talk about preventative health. If we look at preventative health, the reason why most interventions fail is because they don't teach people to actually like and get joy and accomplishment out of the hard work that it takes to be and stay healthy. Most of these interventions fail for the same reason. They don't engage enough people for long enough to make a real difference. So I don't know if you knew this, but they've done some studies recently that found that people who go on calorie-restricted diets end up weighing more and being less healthy in the long run than people who don't. So we're not lazy, but we do have terrible willpower, and fighting ourselves has consequences. So I've spent a lot of time studying the sort of different disciplines that try to figure out how you can make hard work fun, from behavioral psychology to organizational psychology to game design. And I've found a pattern. And there's 4 ingredients that I found. First, it has to be voluntary. Second, it has to be difficult enough, but not impossible. Third, it has to be interesting and stay interesting. It has to have some element of variety or something that kind of keeps you guessing. And then 4, it has to be rewarding. Extrinsic rewards work, but they have to ultimately be tied to something intrinsically that the person cares deeply about. And there is a model out there in the real world that's worked for a long time to help people sort of turn hard work into something that they ultimately enjoy. And that's the coach, right? But I'm not talking about the health coach sitting in a call center somewhere calling you every 2 weeks, telling you to eat your vegetables. I'm talking about this kind of coach. I'm talking about the kind of coach that I had in high school that taught me what it meant to win and to lose, and somehow along the way taught me to love the hard work it took to get there. So I'm Zach. I founded Perk Health with my longtime childhood best friend to bring that feeling, that experience to the millions of Americans who need it. So here's what we did. We've built a virtual coach. It's a website and an application ultimately, but it does all the things that a real coach would do. So it starts by getting to know you, right? Your goals, your health needs, but for the first time in technology, really trying to understand who you are as a person. it actually assesses your personality traits. Based on those things, it helps you come up with a plan to get to wherever your goal is, step by step, day by day, and then adjusts for you over sort of the gentle encouragement of a friend or more of a drill sergeant-like kick in the butt. Like a real coach, it doesn't end after some sort of a 4-week program. Like a real coach, it can learn. So we built it as a platform so it can help you lose weight, get fit, eat healthier, but it also will be able to help with diabetes management or mental health, or help you run your first 5K or your first marathon as we extend the coach's capabilities. There's another aspect to sort of this metaphor of the coach that's so powerful and we see sort of working in the real world, and that is company's team and start competing against other companies across Red Wing. So I earlier mentioned that the reason that all of these interventions end up failing is because they don't get the engagement, which is why we're so excited that we've seen 10 times the engagement of your typical preventative health or coaching program. And with that, I'd kind of like to switch gears a little bit. Corporate health and wellness. So companies over the last few years have started spending $700 per employee per year on average on wellness-related initiatives. This is double what it was just a few years ago. But there's another other important sort of piece of the statistic, and that's that the companies that are smaller are spending much less than the jumbo-size employers, and they're spending in a very different way. And the reason is that the other solutions that exist in this industry are all focused on those jumbo-size employers. So your typical wellness solutions, you'd see some tens of thousands of setup cost. You'd see heavy configuration and customization to get the program off the ground. You'd see per member per month or per employee per month pricing, usually somewhere around 6% engagement rates in anything that's not just a sort of one-time event. And oftentimes they end up having to have multiple vendors to sort of cover the whole landscape. So we are the opposite of all these things. Where can build in. We do fitness wearable integration, so if you have a Fitbit or a Jawbone or you track your steps through your phone, all of that information can feed right into the program and the coach can sort of have that information live. For the company, they can automate these wellness communications and newsletters that are oftentimes already. At this point, I'd like to open up for questions. There. Yep. So a lot of times when you hear engagement rate, they'll just tell you the percentage of employees who sort of signed up. So we did that, but then we also looked at the long-term engagement, because a lot of times that's where things really fall off. It's usually around the few-week mark. So our biggest customer is about 1,000 employees. The point is a lot of times that you can't, and sort of that's how we map to your different personality traits, 5 different traits. That answer your question?
Okay, last question.
Yeah.
What do you charge per employee?
So we charge $5 per active user per month. And also with these team challenges and competitions, we're the only thing out there and the first thing to have a sort of freemium model. So if a company wants to just dip their toes in with these team challenges and competitions, that'll be completely free. Once they want to roll out incentives and the virtual coach for all their employees, then it's $5 per person who uses it per month. Cool.
Exactly. And Zach will be around to after. Zach will be around to after too, like all the presenters, to ask more questions.
Definitely.
So.
All right, my name is Michelle Chafee, and I founded a software company called CareQuo, and my product is Alska. A little bit of background, I'm a healthcare professional who's worked in the hospital for just under 20 years, and during that time I noticed that patients who had advocates, whether they were family advocates or friends, somebody advocating on their behalf, had better outcomes. And then 7 years ago, my mother actually had a very debilitating, like me, who could be there when I couldn't be. So I developed a professional patient advocacy model where I did just that for clients. Primarily my clients were adult children with aging parents. And you know, I attended medical appointments with them, pulled together a complete medical record. If there was a hospitalization, I did daily visits, and basically was a liaison between the hospital care team and family, and also keeping family up to date on what was going on. So in that process, I developed a prototype, which is now ALSCA, which is a web-based technology solution that supports caregivers and patients in their quest for optimal care. And what sets us apart from other like hospital-based and corporation-based health records is that because it was designed from the unique perspective of an experienced healthcare professional and also a family caregiver, I kind of knew what both worlds looked like. I understood what goes on in the hospital and how all of the things work there, and then also as a family caregiver and then a professional advocate. So primarily the problems that I saw with caregiving were gaps in communication, and that's, you know, communication between even care teams in the hospital, information being relayed properly and in a timely manner. Families being overwhelmed with the task of caregiving, certainly in a health crisis, and lack of continuity in delivery of care. This was especially apparent to me when I attached emails to families. I thought it would be really great if there would be a web-based model where I could securely store the health records, store legal documents such as advance directives, insurance cards. Repeatedly, we were asked for, you know, Medicare cards, insurance cards over and over again, and that may be in the care of a daughter who lives, you know, in another state or is busy, and so having to try and track those down was a continual problem. A mobile medication list, biometric measurement, storage and trending, and secure medical image sharing, so a place to keep track of and share if somebody had, you know, a chronic wound, that you could take photos daily and the care provider could log in and actually see what was going on at home. So this empowered patients and caregivers because it gave them real-time updates and communication from caregiving teams and family rather than me deciphering. They don't have to wait for me to contact them. They can log on and use it as much or as little as they would like. There's a place for medical events, so these are any significant events such as a fall, an emergency room visit, something like that. The up-to-date medication list is really important. With almost all of my clients, I found when they discharged from the hospital or rehab facility back home, there were almost always discrepancies in the medication, hip and hyperlipidemia. And then I built in a biometric section because a lot of my clients had heart disease or diabetes, and we were recording like daily weights, you know, in a notebook. Weight and feeling short of breath, it's a really good indicator that maybe there's some fluid overload happening. And we have about 20 different biometrics you can choose to measure and can add pretty much most anything. These were the ones that were most often used for my clients. In the care team, there's a list here of the care team. So how it works is that a client or their caregiver invites somebody into the care team. I use it with my clients for a period of 14 months, and I had about 40 people that were using the site, and they were on every single day. I mean, they became really dependent on it. There was a morning where it was down for some updates, and everybody was completely freaked out. Like, you know, they used it to connect, even to the point where when their loved one passed away, they were so used to connecting there that they continued and asked if they could still keep using it. And then those pictures and notes that had become $9.99 per month. I couldn't find any direct competition because if I could have, I wouldn't have built it. Because the only reason I created it, I was looking for something to do this to help me with my clients, and I couldn't find anything. There are some indirect competitors, such as Grand Care, Grand Pad, that are products geared to the senior so they can connect with family. My product is very different from that. And products that facilitate communication or updates like Caring Bridge, or precious status. And medical records are available within care systems, but not in a mobile place like this, where no matter where you are, you can access your own records and share them with who you want. So currently I'm pursuing contracts with interested organizations like Desert AIDS Project and other senior living organizations, and then we're gonna roll out to.
That we're not able to make it tonight. They were the winners of our Red Hot Hack less than a month ago. So they had about 24 hours, well, a little over 24 hours, because they wanted to sleep, maybe less than 24 hours, to develop a solution using technology. And so they'll tell you more about it, but pretty amazing what they were able to do in a weekend. So they were the best overall team that weekend. We have really fancy awards. We are nonprofit, so you're gonna need it.
Very nice.
Thanks. You guys take it over.
Okay, we will start out by asking, with a show of hands, has anyone ever had a problem that they couldn't solve on their own? Right? All right, have you ever had a problem that you didn't know how to get the help to solve it and you needed help right away? Anyone? Right? We've all been there. That is what our app is all about. So Show Me Help Me is an app where people can get immediate video help by people who know how to help them, by people anywhere in the world who have expertise in that area. And it's also a place where people can make money for sharing with others what they know. So currently, where can people go to get help immediately? This lady is my favorite, right? Have you ever felt like this before, throwing your hands in the air? Maybe you're knitting and you make a mistake in the knitting.
So, we've listed these people here as computers. These are endeavors that try to help people do things. On the right, we have the Angie's List, Home Advisor, Thumbtack. They're pretty much struggling for the same piece of pie, handyman, carpenters, and all that. And they get some of your money while they're showing you who can help you. In the middle, you have YouTube. YouTube, you can watch a video to maybe 7, and you find out they don't have what you want, which will be 2 hours down the road. So I don't think it's an effective use of our time when we need help. On the far right, we have things like Zintro, which is basically a professional connection platform that connects technologists and experts to companies that need them. So basically on this board, you have groups of computers that all try to connect experts with people that need help. Experts. Remember that word, experts. Now that is not what we're doing.
So the solution to the problem is live video help. And as Osita was saying, our solution is more for people there are a lot of sites out there that cater to people who are electricians, plumbers, people that have some kind of a title or a certification behind their name. But ours is going to be directed more to people who have some kind of expertise, but they're not necessarily, they don't have a credential, or maybe you don't have a knitting credential, right? So, but this person has the capability to help. So that's what our solution is about.
Now, I'm sure some of us are wondering, how do we even define the market? Talk less of, target it. We decided to look at what is happening online right now, and segmenting the market to some targeted areas is going to give us pretty much a focused.
Help is immediate. If you need help, you want help right now, there'll be people online waiting there within their category to help you. Okay, so some of the targeting ways to find people and users for the site, of course, paid video advertising would be one of the highest rated ones, because you can advertise and handpick your channel on YouTube. So you could handpick, a channel that caters to whichever category of people you're trying to get. Facebook ads are another good way to reach the exact right people for the kind of people you want to get. So if you're, trying to get crafters, Facebook and YouTube or any paid video advertising allow you to choose the exact. We get a good click-through rate and conversion rate. And then some other ways we would try to get customers on board would be beta testing incentives, giving people an incentive to sign up, press opportunities, of course, and we estimate that the marketing signups would be about $0 to $16 per user to acquire per customer.
And then some people feel stupid not to have thought about it, but this is it. You have 2 cameras from your computer. There's start, pause, and there's a pay now button, and there's a timer up there. And that's all you need. And you have show me, help me. So that's our presentation. We're open for questions.
In terms of the nuts and bolts of it, your professionals, how do you gauge if what they're recommending was helpful or successful for the patron? Do you track it?
That's a great,
Yeah.
yes, we did because of the liability around it and all. And then people are more used to PayPal as a trusted brand versus.
So how, yeah, so, okay, that was gonna answer the question, is how are you gonna guarantee that somebody will pay after they get the help?
Oh, sure. Yeah, we would gather.
Kind of escrow. Have you used Fiverr before?
Mm-mm.
Kind of like an escrow. So you're trying to buy something for $25, so put in your $25.
That comes in very handy to get everybody's attention, so that wouldn't have been a problem. As Xavier said, my name is Mike Rowley, and I'm the CEO and founder of GoRoute, and we make wearable tech devices, wearable products that players in high school, college, and professional teams wear on the field during practice and workouts. We've been around now for almost a year in our current capacity, and as a company, we are all about looking at why people do things. So we have a saying in our company that says, why do teams teach 21st century players with 19th century tactics? Kids today don't care about you sitting up there on a chalkboard talking about what you're running the Rockney box and what you did in 1965. They don't care. Kids between coach and player, instead of just screaming and organizing and just trying to be in mass chaos. And so we developed a wearable technology product that accomplishes many of these barriers, many of these challenges. And we do so along the guise of, we actually want to stress the status quo. We want to make coaches uncomfortable. We want to affect them, make them think about why they do what they do and how they talk and the way they interact and the way they communicate with their players on a daily, weekly, hourly, minute basis. And our wearable technology scares the crap out of a lot of coaches, to put it lightly. Some of them love it. Some of them are like, oh, from start to finish on both ends. And we make sure that the product and the software work in cohesion. And what we found is that in our market, that's a complete change, because everything in our market from a technology perspective, unless you're putting on a brand new helmet, which they tweaked with different screws or a different plating, is all soft with dementia. State associations think that the solution to that is let's just reduce contact and reduce practice time. And unfortunately, what that's caused is coaches trying to get more done in a smaller amount of time, less teaching actually occurring, and just more poor technique. So what we've done is there's no one that's really doing what we do. And our competition very much is the status quo. I've done it for 70 years this way. It's the stereotyping of we're going to be yelling and we're going to be tough and we have to coach because this is what we've done, this is how we went through it. It's also printed play cards. And those are those cards that the coaches hold up and say, hey, it's a military grade unit, it's very durable, it's shockproof, waterproof, shockproof, dustproof, water resistant, up about 3.5 feet submerged for about half hour. There's no Wi-Fi necessary. We've built our own localized closed network so we can predict the network connection, so we can be at a big school in the middle of Chicago or a small school in the Southwest, and we were asked to sit on a panel about wearable tech in sports. We declined that offer and we rescheduled, and we're seated to present at one of the first days of South by Southwest in Austin, and we're sitting on a wearable tech in sports panel in Las Vegas later next year. In terms of partnerships and press, we've been in TechCrunch, we've been in Sport Techie, we've had some great publications, we have some great partnerships with the Glacier Clinics and with Texas High School. Sure of is that we get one thing right. We've already had direct applications. We've had state police. We've had one DoD contractor reach out to us to use it for tactical purposes. Our product roadmap has already reached out and said, in terms of where we're going, there's a lot of implications for state police, localized police. The FIFA, the Federation of International Football Association.
Or they find that they're doing
These are coming,
fundraisers?
yeah, these are coming out of boosters, or a lot of them are being funded out. So they can buy an 11-unit package for us for just shy of $2,000. And that's 11 of the hardware, 11 of the package pieces, our network software, and all the charging equipment. So we're very affordable in terms, I mean, they can buy like 7 helmets for $2,000.
What's the life of the product?
Sure, so right now, the product we're seeing is, this past fall, we ran some demos. We saw about a 7% turnover on the usage. We're seeing that probably between 18 and 24 months. But our goal, quite honestly, is to phase it out every 18 months. So our next product iteration should make this product look like a dinosaur. Yeah.
Possible two-part question.
Sure.
Players even aware of it?
And once we get to the next product iteration, that's one of the things that we've already been working with the National Federation of High Schools on, is having the ability to take those decisions right out of the coach's hands by them wearing our tool or our wearable device. It instantly would alert the official and the medical personnel on the sideline that there has been a problem. That player needs to be removed until he's been evaluated, and that evaluated would be circumvented by a code that the medical.
Hopefully in the next month or two, we'll see if we are recipients of that NSF grant. And this technology is what we hope to bring to this area.
For about 6 weeks, Mila and I were like linked at the hip doing the grant, so we got to know each other. Still living, I have to qualify that. How many of you have a grandparent that is still living? We are facing a tsunami, and the tsunami is my age group. I'm a boomer, okay? And when you take the age group that is going into retirement and you project any of the historical ways of taking care of them, moving them to nursing homes, assisted living, telemedicine, and the other was multimedia to the home. When I talk about multimedia to the home, I'm talking about a platform of access. When you look at the prior presentations, except for the last one, and I'm sorry, when I'm focusing at seniors, Go Route may not fit, but when you look at the other applications, we don't compete with them. We're intending to put a platform in the home that hosts them, okay, that gives them the ability to get to a home that they might otherwise not be able to get to. And in the context of doing that, we want to add certain capabilities, live video, access to healthcare with live consults, et cetera, in terms of how that works. When it comes to the primary care telemedicine, this whole thing started with Mayo. About 5 years ago, we were teamed with Mayo. Mayo had 9 systems up and running. The systems didn't talk to each other, and they wanted to have a system of lower cost, easier to use that would go to the home. In the context of that, we became part of a grant, and as part of the grant, we developed a system that I'm going to demo that meets those particular 1,000 hospitals that are designated rural in a rural county that are subject to reimbursement, and then you got all these other parties that are opportunities. When you look at competition for telemedicine, we haven't found the equivalent. We've been at ATA and at HIMSS. HIMSS is going on this week, and we were there, and we still don't have a visible competitor that is targeted at nursing homes. They're targeted at community locations. They're targeted at workplace environments where that is their focus, and they have a technology and other aspects of delivered service. Focused on how do we create easy access to services and capabilities in the home of a senior or a disabled person who can't use standard tech. How many of you have somebody you know that struggles to change the TV from TV to DVR? Okay, we're trying to resolve that issue. Patient location. And as a patient location, this configuration can be in a bag, and it can go to the home with a home care solution. I can deliver this solution in a bag for $2,500. 5 years ago, the equivalent technology cost us $6,000. That's how much it's come down in the last 4 or 5 years. You're looking at this image on that screen, okay? And what I want to show you as an example is a different image. It's an exam image. used to having staff do everything, and you have a younger doctor who's used to doing everything for themselves, and they don't want anybody bugging them. Okay, so I was just with the patient, and I turned on that camera. I'm now the provider, and I'm at this end, and I'm going to change the camera back to the image. So I, as the provider, am doing my normal work on my PC. I've got access to my EMRs. I've got access to anything I normally have access to. I can document in my normal manner, and this screen on the wall is replacing the patient in the chair. That's exactly what we're doing. Round 2 is this little baby. And I'm over time, and I'm sorry. Where's my...
Not yet,
But I'm close.
but very, very.
Okay. This is a system in the home for an older adult or a disabled person that may struggle with tech. This is their control unit. This is a remote that is intentionally big. The buttons are spread out, and half the buttons are eliminated. The reason they're eliminated is I have a software package called Caretaker. The caretaker is a family member or a third person who has complete remote access and control of this system. So when the system needs to be fixed or programmed, a different person who can be anywhere in the country on the net does the programming. What you're looking at is a screensaver of the last photos sent to the system by somebody who has authority. When I hit the home button, this is your home screen. In the home screen, and I don't have time to show, this is TV and music and photos, and this is the message box from the granddaughter who texts. This is a calendar that controls all sorts of things. This is access to personal calls that includes video calls to family members or whomever you want to do. This is access to the internet that is secure. I can hard program a button on here, A or B, that will access any of the apps that was presented earlier. Okay, so if you want to access you can hard program it to A, they hit B, it goes to your system, they ask for help. To scale into low bandwidth, but we also know that the quality and the results of it and this customer satisfaction is going to be highest in higher bandwidth. That's what we proposed to the NSF. To the NSF and the grant, we said, we will take this, we'll implement it here in Greater Red Wing. We will show you the results of using the technology in standard bandwidth. We will show you the results of doing it in gig bandwidth. And what are the performance, the customer satisfaction issues, the other things that justify going to the gig. And that was the basis of our grant application. They are interested in telemedicine and doing good things in the community, but they're more interested in justifying the gig network. We're just using the applications that are here as the way to document the value.
Well, thank you, everybody. Please stay. Everyone, that demo will be here to answer questions. Here's your sheet. It's on the tables. If you have feedback, fill that out. Stay, talk, mingle. There's drinks, there's food. Thank you for coming.
And I'm going to leave these live. If you want to play with one end of the station and see it actually working, I'll help you do that.
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about, specifically, why you came to Ignite today.
Well, being a tenant at the Mayo Clinic Business Accelerator, Xavier is always trying to get us to reach out to other accelerating programs and try to talk to other entrepreneurs and network. And when he presented me the opportunity to come up and do a demo here, I thought it would be a great opportunity to talk to a new set of people, hear new ideas, and engage with a lot more entrepreneurs from a different area. And so it was a win-win.
What do you say to other entrepreneurs who are looking at this? I mean, they need a little push to get to this level of asking for help.
Yeah, get in, jump in. You know, the people like Ignite are here to help. They're here to support you. They're here to help you find the answers you're looking for. And you know, the hardest step is the very first one. So if you can just jump in and find a supportive network that helps you nurture your idea and get it off the ground, the steps after that and the challenges after that will become fun. It's just that scary first step. And if you can find people who support you and get you from A to B, then that's exactly what the Ignite people do. And that's exactly what their mission is, and that's what they're here for. So take it full advantage.
All right, you having fun yet?
Having a great time tonight.
How'd you find out about Ignite? How did you get connected?
It was at a trade show. I sort of randomly ran into Neela, and we started talking, and it seemed like there'd be a really good fit. It seemed like they could help with some of the things that we needed help with, sort of specifically at that time.
Why was it a good fit?
So with an early company, your initial struggles are always around getting customers and getting traction. And especially as a young and first-time entrepreneur, finding people who can help you with connections is massively valuable. And we saw that opportunity in working with Red Wing Ignite. And the other opportunity we saw was sort of a unique situation with what our company does, which is in a lot of ways population health. And the opportunities around working with a smaller community seemed like something we wanted to explore, and something we still are. So,
what has Ignite given you that you felt like you've grown your business or grown your ideas, or how has Ignite helped you?
Beyond sort of the sounding board and that type of advising, it's been a lot of opening doors. They've got us in front of customers, potential partners, and hopefully soon sort of the community at large.
What do you say to other entrepreneurs that aren't really tentative about taking that first step to ask for help?
Oh, I mean, you got to do it. There's a lot of things in entrepreneurship that are scary, but you just got to do it. You just got to put yourself out there and go after it. That's sort of what entrepreneurship is all about. Is not letting those fears get in your way and just going after it.
How did Ignite help you be a better entrepreneur?
They put me in the position where I could be successful, right? A lot of being successful is showing up, as they say, and then they gave me places to show up to.
So how can events like this help a business like yours?
It gives me a lot of contact to other companies and individuals that would be much harder for me to connect with and to kind of tell my story. Red Wing Ignite is a great lab to develop new technology that uses broadband. The basis of US Ignite is HPC having a ultra high bandwidth network that's available to everybody in the community. And that is the asset that is the most critical for me to deliver my services of telemedicine or advanced multimedia to the home.
And is that necessarily localized here in Red Wing, Winona? I mean, if you're not finding that,
no.
Lots of other
This is just an example of where the world is going to be in 5 years. And since it's an example of the future, it's where you want to develop your technology and understand how to maximize that technology, which is going to show up everywhere in the not too distant future.
Why should people talk to Ignite?
They understand these networks, they understand the value that is there, they understand how to maximize use of that bandwidth, and they can connect you to people who can help you get your job done.